Good morning, dear students. I hope you all are fine. So, today we are going to start your 7th chapter of English. This is a poem actually. The name of the poem is The Raven and the Fox. And what is raven? Raven is a bird that you can see from the picture also. It is a crow like bird having the same black color as that of crow and same sharp beak. But the difference is that raven is you can say bigger in size than that of crow. So raven is a crow like bird, as you can see from picture also. The only difference is that raven is bigger in size than that of crow. So the poem is about the conversation between raven and fox, and this is about the cleverness of the fox, how a clever fox make this raven fool. And the idea behind the poem is that we should not listen to flattery, or we should not believe on the flattery, on the fake praise that people do for us. So the poem is that Mr. Raven was perched upon a limb, and Reynard the fox looked up at him. For the raven held in his great big beak a morsel the fox would go far to seek. So in the first stanza it is written that Mr. Raven was perched upon a limb. As you can see from picture also, perched means to say sitting at the you can say end of a branch. Limb means to say branch of tree. As we are having our limbs like our arms and legs are called limbs, actually our body parts. So similarly limbs of tree means to say branches of tree. So Mr. Raven was sitting on a branch of tree, and Reynard the fox looked up at him. And Reynard, the name of the fox, is given. So the fox was sitting on the ground and she is looking up at the raven. For the raven held in his great big beak a morsel the fox would go far to seek. So the fox was actually looking at the piece of a food that raven was carrying in his beak. So that raven was holding a piece of you can say bread or anything to eat, and the fox was you can say looking at that piece, and that piece is written as morsel. The morsel, a morsel the fox would go far to seek. Morsel means to say a bite of food. So she want to seek that food, she want to take away that food from the raven. Said the fox in admiring tones, my word, Sir Raven, you are a handsome bird. Such feathers, if you would only sing, the birds of these woods would call you king. So what the fox said, she said in admiring tone. Admiring tone means to say she started praising that raven, and she started as, Sir Raven, you are a handsome bird. She said that you are a very handsome bird. Such feathers, if you would only sing, the birds of these woods would call you king. So she was praising his feathers also, that you are having very beautiful feather, and you was the you can say most handsome birds among all. And if you would only sing, and she said if you will start singing, you will be the you can say king of the birds of all the birds that are living in these woods. Woods means to say in this forest. So she is saying that if you sing with your sweet voice, all other birds will consider you as their king. Third stanza. The raven, who did not see the joke, forget that his voice was just a croak. He opened his beak in his foolish pride, and down fell the morsel the fox had spied. So actually, as we all know that the voice of crow is not good. Similarly, the voice of raven is also not good, but she is just you can say flattering that raven. So the raven who did not see the joke, but the raven was unable to judge the wording of fox, and he was just be fooled by the fox. So forget that his voice was just a crook. He himself knows that his voice is not good, but after listening the you can say praise of fox, he just forget that his voice is not good. He opened his beak in his foolish pride, and he just opened his beak to sing, because he now want to sing. So he opened his beak in his foolish pride, and down fell the morsel the fox had spied. And you can see from the picture also that piece of food now fell down, for which the fox is doing all these things, for which the fox has spied. Spied means to say she was secretly observing that thing, so because she want to take that food. So last stanza. Ha ha, said the fox, and now you see you should not listen to flattery. Vanity, sir, is a horrid vice. I'm sure the lesson is worth the price. Now she's laughing, she's saying ha ha ha, and she's saying now you can see that you should not listen to flattery, that you should not listen to any kind of praise or any kind of smooth talk. Vanity, sir, vanity means to say the state of having too much pride. So she is saying that if you feel like if you are feeling proud or if you are flattered by some words, if this kind of state means to say the state of having too much pride, sir, is a horrid vice. Horrid means to say very unkind or a very unpleasant character. Vice means to say any nature. So personal flaw, fault, default. So she is saying that vanity, sir, is a horrid vice, that this kind of the state having too much pride is totally bad quality. So I am sure that the lesson is worth the price. And she said that now I think you should have known this properly. This lesson is worth for you, it is worthwhile for you, because now from the next time you should be careful about these kind of flattery words. So this is all about the poem. In this way, this clever fox took the piece of food from the raven by just you can say doing the fake praise of that raven. And the idea behind the poem is that we should not be fooled by anyone's talk like this. We should always know our weak points and our points also. So uh, don't just be fooled by anyone's this kind of smooth talk. So this is all about your poem. Moving to the next page now. So next they have given you comprehension. There are true falses are given on the basis of poem. Then there are fill-ups and question answers. So just try to solve all these things, and then comes your sound and pronunciation. So read the following pair of words. So they have given you 3 pairs of words, and you have to read these words carefully. I am reading for you. First pair contains chair, such. Next is character, school. Next is machine, chef. So in this way, what you have to notice, you have to notice the sound of ch word in all of these words. So in first pair of words, that is chair and such, notice the voice of ch, how you pronounce ch word actually. And then in character and school, and then in machine and chef. So just notice the difference of the ch sound that we are pronouncing differently in these different pairs. So firstly, as we all know that the word ch has a different, you can say, sound in each of these pair. As we pronounce these words, we will be able to judge that the word ch is having different, you can say, sound, different pronunciation in these pairs of words. So the sound of ch in chair is and such is the most usual way of pronouncing it, and it is ch, chair. So next one is in the words that are derived from Greek letters, from Greek, like character, school. So in these, the ch is like k, character, k, character, and similarly schools, school. In this also ch is having k like sound, k like sound. So next is the sound of ch in the words drawn from French, like machine, chef. So here it is sh, sure, machine, sure, and chef, sure. So here the word ch is having sure sound. So in this way, now it's clear that the word ch is having different, you can say, sounds in these pairs of words. And then they have given you a box having a lot of words in it, and what you have to do, you have to put the words in separate columns according to their voice, according to their sound, according to their pronunciation, to the words that are having k sound in the first box, and having sure sound in second box, and having ch sound in third box. So in this way, you have to categorize these words into 3 categories. Then comes your activity. Read the famous fable The Fox and Grapes by Aesop and rewrite it in your own words. So just Google this. Fable means to say story. So just Google this story, The Fox and Grapes, and then read this story properly, and then rewrite that story. Then the second activity is that do a little research on your own and answer the following question. So they have given you 3 questions and you have to Google these questions. Just Google about these questions and find the answers of these questions. First is, what does it mean if you compare a person to a fox? Then what is Mozilla Firefox? Then what is 20th century fox? So the first is, comparing a person to fox means to say if there is any clever person, we call that person as a fox. And then what is Mozilla Firefox? This is, you can say, a browser, like Chrome is browser for, you can say, surfing internet, so it's a browser. And also search for what is a 20th century fox. I have answered first 2 questions, now third is left only. So just answer first two also, and search about first 2 questions also and about third question also. So this is all about your poem, that is the raven and the fox. So I hope you have enjoyed this poem. So thanks for listening and have a nice day.